Veterans re-entering civilian life face many challenges, including finding a job. Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Welcome to this edition of Military Makeover Operation Career. Today, we have 4 inspirational stories of former servicemen and women who have reinvented themselves and are thriving at companies who value their unique skills. As our military landscape continues to shift and change, maintaining the readiness of our forces becomes more critical every day. Helping the military achieve those high standards is California-based PKL Services. Take a look at this.
The United States military operates around the globe, protecting the nation from a growing array of threats. Maintaining those forces requires superior coordination, dedication, and excellence. California-based PKL Services provides the advantage the U.S. military needs to outwit these multiplying threats.
I can't think of doing something else. So it's kind of neat to be in the position to be able to say, I am living my dream.
I love what I do. I love the people that I get to do it with, and I'm nowhere near done.
The company is, by my standards, have been amazing.
It's pretty nice being able to mentor and train and teach young Marines.
Well, the mission of PKL is to provide top quality maintenance, training, and logistics support to our customers worldwide.
PKL works directly with the U.S. Air Force, Marine Corps, and the Navy, but they also work with a number of other foreign militaries, including the Singaporean Air Force.
So our job as contract pilots and weapons systems officers is to do exactly that, is to train the Singaporean pilots and weapons systems officers as well. We find ourselves very fortunate to work with the Singaporeans. A great bunch of people, have a great sense of humor, and a wonderful work ethic.
I have a big part in the managing of making sure all those planes are ready to go.
But the road from active duty to private contractor can be stressful, even for these service members.
My transition experience from being active duty in the military to civilian business life was actually quite terrifying. All of a sudden it hit me. Oh my God, what did I just do? I left the comfort of having done exactly the same thing, exactly what I wanted to do, and now I'm out in the cold.
My transition experience was shaky at first, only because I was nervous. It was not aircraft related, so it was a little bit of adjustment there. I think the main thing is once I knew, hearing from my managers and other supervisors that I was the perfect fit.
I had a rough time with transitioning out of the Marine Corps because they teach you everything you need to know to do what you need to do to find a job. And you're always told, well, these companies, they're proud of you for being in the military. You get a pat on the back, say, hey, I'm glad you served, but what can you do for me? And I tried that route, and it didn't work.
While the transition may be a rough journey, their pride in their military service remains a shining memory.
As far back as I can remember, I've loved aviation. I loved flying.
I was just walking one day in our plaza and I saw a recruiter and decided that's what I was going to do.
I led a U.S. Special Operations Command team doing ultra-classified work. I can't talk anything about it.
What they do love to talk about is their camaraderie for one another and their work at PKL.
That, I think, is the key element of PKL's success, is that we have 90% of our employees are veterans.
Patty's one of those guys who he just has an air about him that's just easy to talk to. Besides the fact that he's a Marine, I don't hold that against him or anything. But he's just such a great guy.
Mark Thompson, I deal with him on a day-to-day basis. We monitor the launch and make sure everything runs smoothly and get them up in the air so they can do their training.
My military experience helps PKL in the fact that having served for 30 years, I come in well-suited to understanding what it is that we do as far as maintenance, training, and logistics.
PKL, providing outstanding service today for tomorrow's growing threats.
Welcome back. CROSSMARK uses innovative technology to elevate brands and engage customers across all retail brands and consumer goods. Check this out.
Located in all 50 states and Canada, CROSSMARK focuses its sales and marketing efforts on helping companies of all sizes find a smarter way to faster growth. With best-in-class tools and an unparalleled team of experts, they're able to provide real-time data analysis to help brands make informed decisions that impact their bottom line.
So again, CROSSMARK partners with a wide variety of clients and customers throughout the consumer packaged goods industry. And we really focus on building and growing their businesses. So anytime you see a product on the shelf or even online, behind the scenes there's a company like CROSSMARK handling the marketing components. And we focus on building brand awareness. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that the brand stands out above and beyond all of the competitors. You know, one of the things that makes me proud to work for CROSSMARK is we really believe that if our clients and customers aren't winning, we're not winning. And this CROSSMARK We Are You business model really serves our clients and customers' interests first and caters to their business goals and growth. We always strive to outperform, over-deliver, and exceed expectations.
Derek Muller served in the Marine Corps for 8 years. He now serves his community through his management of retail resets and merchandising at a local Sam's Club in New York.
I joined the Marine Corps in September of 2003. I was in there for 8 years on active duty. I got out as a sergeant in 2011, went to Iraq twice and went to Afghanistan once. As I got out, I was a sergeant of the Marine Corps. My last year that I was there, I was a substance abuse control officer. Other than that, I was a radio operator. Just taking care of anything that needs medical evacuations, infantry, anything of that sort of nature. Honestly, it was tough. I lost my sense of purpose. I felt, the Marines and military was my dream job. I loved every minute of it. I was trying to find that purpose, where I'm supposed to go next. What should I do next? And I had a couple jobs and I wasn't getting that fulfillment. I knew that I liked working with people and I knew I loved working with food. And then I heard about CROSSMARK and they had established that they work with people, they work with food, they work with both natures, and it was the best of both worlds. And I said, absolutely, let's do this.
Their advanced analytics tools help brands sell more and grow faster.
CROSSMARK stands above and beyond because we created an accelerator platform. And this is what's going to help our clients and customers. So the platform is an insights and analytics tool that we built from scratch. It's not an off-the-shelf tool. It was our brainchild idea, and we partnered with some industry experts such as IBM and Microsoft. So it's important for CROSSMARK to employ people that have strong values, strong analytical skills, and are problem solvers. And we've seen that with individuals that serve in the military. So when you think about the veterans that are out there and are no longer working in the military, this gives them a great opportunity to work for a company that they can not only succeed in, but exhibit so many of our values.
As a veteran myself, I completely understand that we're always being moved. Just in this short 8 years, I have moved myself about 3-4 different times to different states. So I completely understand. For veterans, for spouses, if the veteran is going ahead and they are getting to a different duty station, that spouse can go right ahead and they can transfer. One of the best things that this company has is that we're 50 states in Canada.
By hiring veterans and their families across the globe, CROSSMARK sees a return in dependable, skilled employees who serve their clients with customized and smart solutions.
I just can't thank CROSSMARK itself enough on how much it has affected me and my family for the better.
The nation's power grid is vast, diverse, and increasingly more complex to manage and maintain. Meeting the challenge is Jingoli Power, whose long track record of hiring veterans assures success by providing a wide range of professional services for complex utility construction projects.
Reliable power is key to America's future. The men and women of Jingoli Power, many of them veterans, proudly keep our power grid safe and operational every single day.
So we do professional services, project management, construction management on critical infrastructure projects. We manage the work. Sometimes our clients hire contractors, sometimes we hire contractors. We do the material management. We have a very robust system for that. It's where a lot of our veterans work.
For myself, my military career, pretty exciting, pretty unique opportunity that I had. I enlisted straight out of high school, went into the Navy nuclear program, and I ended up supporting special operations, special warfare units. I was an officer in charge at a special mission unit, supporting Tier 1 operations to complete presidential approved ops.
I enlisted in the Navy when I was 17. My parents had to sign my contract to come in. I felt the need to serve, and I was very interested in the electrical industry, so I chose aviation electronics as kind of my field that I worked in for 12 years. I was involved in a visiboard search and seizure team. I boarded a ship that was suspected of containing drugs and off-boarded it, and they found 30 tons of cocaine.
Diverse backgrounds are part of the Jingoli corporate culture, as well as a hang-loose California lifestyle. But when it comes to power generation, safety, and hiring veterans, it's all business for Surfing CEO Carl Miller and his team.
Bringing in the veterans is a huge issue for me. I feel like our veteran program is how I give back and help folks into this industry.
The very first time I met Carl, I have yet to even sign the offer letter for the company. And he goes, "So when are you starting?" I said, if anything, probably April, because I retire in April. I want to take some time off. And he looks at me and goes, "Why don't you start in March? Then you can get paid by the military and get paid by the company." And walked away.
Jingoli's history of community service extends beyond vets, however.
I want some social responsibility as part of our company, and then hiring these kids from disadvantaged neighborhoods. And these are good kids who just need an opportunity.
It's clear, though, that vets remain close to his heart.
Carl is very in tune with the direction that he wants to go with the company.
My relationship with Jingoli is fantastic. I work with Adam on almost on a daily basis, trying to figure out solutions to issues. They're constantly supporting me in my job.
We feel like we've had pretty fortunate lives, and if we can do something to help others, I know that sounds corny, but it's true.
One of the reasons why veterans are so valuable in the community is that there's instilled competencies of raw talent that is just inherently brought out from their training, their deployments, their experiences. You have somebody that is at a higher caliber.
And our philosophy is, we think these men and women who have served our country, they deserve a great job when they leave the military, and we give them great jobs.
Jingoli Power, harnessing the power of veterans for a brighter tomorrow.
Union Pacific is one of the country's most recognized companies, providing a critical link in the global supply chain. Throughout their more than 155-year history, they've consistently supported the military, whether by moving troops and supplies or by providing good jobs for our veterans.
My job in the Marine Corps was in the Aviation Supply Accounting Department. So I worked with getting a lot of equipment, flight equipment for the pilots, for the helicopters, and everything like that. And then I went into the Aviation Supply Repairable Division, working with helicopter and jet parts.
I was in a combat engineer unit in Farmington, Missouri, the 1140th Combat Engineer. From A to Z, everything that you could imagine was in the military, we'd seen part of it.
In the military, I was a firefighter, and I also played cop. Active duty for about 3.5 years. I think after 9/11, I wanted to be a firefighter, and that's what I did when I joined the military.
I was pregnant with my first daughter, and I decided that I didn't want to quite raise her with always being deployed, and I love to deploy. So I knew it was time at that moment. The appealing thing that brought me to Union Pacific was the gentleman that I was talked to actually was in the Marine Corps previously as well. And so we talked a lot about how those different skills can transfer over. I also enjoyed the fact that it wasn't your typical work environment as far as an office.
Civilian life, but being in law enforcement and being with the National Guard, it was really kind of hard sometimes to coexist, especially when I went undercover. And it made it easier for me to get out of the military because I loved what I was doing at the time in law enforcement. I found Union Pacific through a friend, and he's like, Union Pacific's hiring. They love veterans. They love law enforcement guys. You need to jump on this and see if you can get a job. And when I applied that night, actually, and 3 days later, I get a phone call.
Out of the military, I wanted to become a civilian firefighter. I had applied for Union Pacific, and they called me and asked me if I was still interested. So I came on with UP looking for a change.
Union Pacific is a transportation company that we move product for customers from point A to point B. We operate in about 23 different states.
Union Pacific Railroad has always had a strong relationship with the U.S. military, dating back to Civil War days, before World War II. We've helped ship troops and equipment back to those major campaigns back then, and still do to this day.
I'm a manager of terminal operations here, so I will look at the flow of things. I try to keep things running on schedule as far as the trains themselves, getting the right car to the right destination for the customers. My military experience helped me here at UP because it allows me to take in a lot of different things at one time and able to make that quick decision as needed that best fits the company.
My job now is a locomotive engineer. We get the trains up to the speed, we stop at the proper locations, and get it from point A to point B at the quickest time. I really do like my job with Union Pacific, and it does relate a lot to the military stuff. We're constantly adapting and overcoming. We always are on change, we're always going, and the military really does help you prepare for that kind of stuff.
There were a lot of opportunities for me to take advantage of when I came on with UP. I was in the right place at the right time. One thing led to another, and here I am. If it weren't for my hazmat background as a firefighter in the military, I wouldn't be able to be in this position now as a hazmat manager with UP.
One thing they do that is very well is that they do take care of their vets and value them. We actually have an employee resource group called UP Vets. What that is, that's pretty much vets helping vets. It allows us to get together, socialize. So it's that brotherhood, sisterhood within Union Pacific as well.
And we actually reach out to veterans to help guide them when they come into the company.
UP Vets is an employee resource group. It's an ERG within our company. It's a place you can go to have a commonality between you and a history of other military members.
If you're a transitioning veteran, Union Pacific is the place for you.
Any veterans out there looking to take the next step, Union Pacific is a great place to be.
You were serving your country in the military, and you can still serve your country by coming and joining Union Pacific.
Great to see that after sacrificing so much to military service, today's veterans are able to shine at these outstanding companies. I'm Montel Williams. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.